Good afternoon. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Trish, and I am a family development specialist with Catholic Charities of Kansas City, St. Joseph. And today I wanted to jump on here and do a brief presentation on the health impacts that smoking has on pregnant women and babies. And so we're just going to kind of do a broad overview of that, of the health implications of smoking while pregnant. Um, but before we get started on that, I'm going to do some general housekeeping. And I do have a disclaimer that I'm going to read. So here goes. So, Catholic Charities is not a medical provider giving medical advice specific to your personal situation or otherwise. So, for this presentation, I've collected information from governmental or other official sources. For this presentation specifically, I use the Centers for Disease Control website. We have not independently verified and cannot guarantee the accuracy of the information being provided today. Um, any mention of COVID-19 or vaccine information that is continually changing. And so this information was prepared in April of 2021. We want to provide this information to you quickly, so it could contain some inaccuracies. So now that we've got the housekeeping stuff out of the way, let's just jump right in and talk about health implications with smoking and pregnancy. So this is an important topic to discuss and to speak with women about, because smoking during pregnancy certainly does increase the risk of having pregnancy-related complications that have both an impact on mom and an impact on baby. Um, and the tobacco smoke can harm babies before and after they are born. So, for these reasons alone, when we're talking about healthy bodies and healthy pregnancies and healthy babies, this is a real important topic to talk about. So let's just kind of jump right in. While I was doing some research for this presentation, I noticed that there are a few myths about smoking and pregnancy that are floating around. And while I'm certainly not going to talk about all of them, I did pick four that I wanted to mention. So we'll start out with the myths regarding smoking and pregnancy and then kind of move into some of the health implications and complications that can arise while smoking while pregnant. So here we go. Myth number one: I'm pregnant and smoking, so there's just really no point in me quitting. Um, Sure, we've all heard that before at one time or another, but the fact is that quitting at any stage during your pregnancy has health benefits, not only for mom but also for baby. So keep that in mind, that it's never too late to quit. Myth number two: quitting will be too stressful for baby. And the fact is that quitting will not place any more stress on your baby. Quitting is probably one of the healthiest things that you can do for baby while you're pregnant, and even one of the healthiest things you can do after baby is born. So, again, never too late to quit, and it definitely has, you can reap the health benefits of quitting for both mom and baby at any point. At any point. So let's go on to myth number three: smoking fewer cigarettes or smoking e-cigarettes while pregnant is okay. And I know there's been some discussion about, I've heard discussion about, e-cigarettes. When people are trying to quit, they'll make that transition from cigarettes to e-cigarettes. So this is that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to put this myth in here today and just kind of touch upon it. So myth: smoking fewer cigarettes or smoking e-cigarettes while pregnant is okay. But the fact remains that there's just simply no safe amount of smoking that can happen either through cigarettes or e-cigarettes. So every puff releases harmful chemicals into the air and into the body. And e-cigarettes, while they may sound better, they still contain nicotine, which is harmful to baby's development. And we'll touch a little bit more on e-cigarettes here in a minute. And the final myth that I wanted to include in this presentation today is I smoked during my last pregnancy and had a healthy baby. While all of us are ecstatic for healthy babies. That's what we want. We want healthy babies, healthy families. But every time you smoke, you are putting your baby's health at risk. And so, even if you had a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby previously and smoked while pregnant, that is absolutely no guarantee that there will be a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby this time around. So, again, quitting is the best option. It's never too late to quit. Okay, so let's jump into this e-cigarette thing real quick. It's important to note that e-cigarettes, they're still containing nicotine, like I mentioned, and they're also containing flavorings, and they also have other chemicals in them. So I like to remind folks that when you're smoking, baby is smoking right along with you. And if you're breathing in secondhand smoke, baby is breathing in that smoke also. So, it's important to keep that in mind. So, the aerosol of e-cigarettes generally has fewer harmful substances than cigarette smoke, but e-cigarettes and any other product that contains nicotine is just simply not safe to use during pregnancy because nicotine is a health danger for pregnant women and developing babies. So, with research on health topics, it takes years and years of data and research to form a conclusion on something, and there just simply at this time, according to the CDC, there just simply isn't enough evidence to show right now whether or not e-cigarettes really truly will help people quit smoking. But it's important to note that e-cigarettes are not FDA approved. So, again, the thing is, e-cigarettes still contain nicotine. They're still just as harmful to mom and baby. And remember, if you're smoking, baby is smoking too. If you're breathing in the secondhand smoke, baby's breathing in the secondhand smoke also. So let's talk about some of the health effects that can happen from smoking and secondhand smoke during pregnancies, and the impact that could have on your pregnancy and the baby. So let's talk about some of these complications. And the first one is miscarriage, and that is an unexpected loss of baby prior to the 20th week of pregnancy. And this can cause great physical and emotional pain for the mom. And it often occurs just simply because the fetus is not developing normally. So, studies do suggest that there is a relationship between tobacco and miscarriage. The carbon monoxide in tobacco smoke can keep the baby from we're addressing is there's that risk of miscarriage. The second complication that could happen, there is also what we call an ectopic pregnancy, and that's where the fertilized egg implants itself outside of the uterus. And we know the uterus is where the baby usually develops. And so the result of an ectopic pregnancy is typically it ends in miscarriage. Another complication that can arise is what is called a placental abruption. And this is when the placenta, which, the placenta provides oxygen and other nutrients the baby needs. It's when this placenta separates from too early from the uterus, and it can cause bleeding in the mom. And it can also lower or stop the baby's supply of oxygen and blood. So, another health implication that can happen from cigarette smoking while pregnant is the placental abruption. And then we've got the placenta previa, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. The placenta previa it occurs when the placenta covers the cervix, which is the lower end of the uterus. It'll cover the cervical opening, and this can also cause severe bleeding for mom. So during pregnancy and delivery. So um, preeclampsia is another complication that can arise from smoking while pregnant. And preeclampsia is when the mom experiences high blood pressure and swollen hands, feet, legs. And this can have severe complications also for both mom and baby. such as a placental abruption, like we mentioned, with the placenta detaches too early, and or having a premature birth, which is happening before the 37th week of pregnancy. Um, and so that just rolls us right into preterm birth as the other health complication that it can arise with smoking while pregnant. And that is when the baby is just born too early. So babies who survive delivery, who are born too early and survive delivery, can have problems with breathing or digestive issues. They can have bleeding in their brains. And these are issues that will carry over with the child. So this could have a lifelong impact on them. He or she could experience developmental delays such as movement or intellectual or language delays, and then they simply just won't do as well as school. I was looking through research this morning and discovered that preterm birth is the leading cause of death, disability, and disease among newborns. Um, so those are some big words, some very real and consequential things that can happen from smoking while pregnant. So let's kind of move on then to let's talk about these benefits. Well, okay, what are my benefits going to be if I quit? Well, again, going back to those myths that we talked about just a few minutes ago, it's never too late to quit. So whether you're in your second month or your sixth month, it's still a good idea to quit smoking while you're pregnant. So one of the benefits of quitting smoking before you give birth is that you're going to have a less risk of preterm birth. And remember, preterm birth, babies are typically born too small and they're too small and too early, and they're just typically not as healthy. There is going to be a less risk of birth defects. And again, we just talked about how that can impact the blood flow and the oxygen levels that the baby's getting from the different complications that it can arise while smoking while pregnant. Um, Another benefit of quitting before giving birth is that you're increasing the chance of your baby having a healthy birth weight and a healthy future, where their growth and development will be on track. It's one of those lifelong benefits that come from that. So it's important to note that 1 of every 5 babies born to moms who smoke during pregnancy has a low birth weight. And so moms exposed to secondhand smoke are more likely to have lower birth weight babies. So while I know that I'm putting this focus on cigarette smoking or smoking while pregnant, secondhand smoke also has an equal impact on babies' health and development. So it's not only, I mean, it's great to stop smoking while you're pregnant, but it's also great to limit your exposure to any secondhand smoke while you're pregnant. Um, but let's get back to some more benefits because those are the good things we want to talk about. There is an increased chance that your baby's lungs will develop. I'm sorry, and so smoking during pregnancy can cause tissue damage, particularly to the lungs and brain. And so, by quitting at any point during pregnancy, you're giving your baby that added benefit and chance of letting their organs develop as they should be. And then that leads into they're more likely to have normal brain development before birth and throughout early childhood. And again, it's one of those things that's not only going to impact baby like during while mom is pregnant and during delivery, but it's one of those lifelong benefits that they will develop on track and grow on track and have the best possible healthy start to a life. So it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. And it says also that one of the other benefits from quitting is that the babies are less likely to die from sudden infant death syndrome, also known as SIDS. And babies whose mothers smoke are about 3 times more likely to die from SIDS. So it's extremely important to, like I said, I'm going to hit it home again. It's really great to quit at any point during pregnancy. So There's certainly these great health benefits that come for that. Keep mom healthy, keep baby healthy, have a healthy pregnancy, healthy delivery, healthy life. So it's so important to have healthy families. So if you are currently struggling with quitting smoking and you would like some additional help, I was looking around this morning on the Centers for Disease Control website and found some great options that are out there for people. And it's important to remember that what might work for one person may not necessarily work for another. So it might be kind of like a trial and error kind of thing. See what works for you, what fits into your lifestyle. So one thing I always like to mention when we're talking about smoking is a 1-800 quit, QUIT, now, NOW, and it is 1-800-784-8669. And this is a free resource available to anyone. Just give them a call. You're going to get connected to a human, and they are going to support you on your journey to quit smoking. Um, so, your coach will give you tips, will um, provide other resources, advice, and they can also help you develop a plan to quit smoking. So, again, free resource. It's worth a try. 1-800 784 8669. And then I found some other really cool ideas or cool things that are out there for people who are interested in quitting smoking. And again, it's kind of one of those things where it may be your thing and it may not be your thing, but I want to get them out there so that you know that they're out there and you have that awareness that if it's not something that would be beneficial to you, you may be able to share that information with somebody else. So I was on a website that is called women.smokefree.gov, G-O-V as in Victor. And But I clicked on the Smoke Free Mom. Since this is a pregnancy and smoking presentation, I clicked on Smoke Free Mom, and it is actually a text program. So they offer a 6 to 8 week program that they will send you daily text messages to help support you on your journey to quit smoking. So I would recommend, if that sounds like something that's really good, for you, might work really well for you, go to women.smokefree.gov, GOV, click on Smoke Free Mom. You can register to receive those text messages, those daily text messages. You can register right there on their webpage, or they give you a number and a code word to text and to get you signed up that way also. So that's one of the texting programs that is out there. They also mention a couple other texting programs on that site that may be of something of interest to you. There are also smoke-free apps. So there's apps you can put on your smartphone, and I'm probably really behind on the curve on this. This might be really common knowledge, but there are smoke-free apps that are out there. Two of them are called Quit, Quit, Quit Start, and Quit Guide. And those are two different applications that you can download onto your smartphone to help you through your quitting process. Um, there are also medications that can be prescribed, but that is a conversation that you should have with your doctor. And since I'm not a healthcare professional, I'm not going to talk about those medications, but just know that those are out there, and that's a conversation you can have with your healthcare provider. And I think they also address on the website like nicotine patches and things like that. And then build a quit plan. And I offered the 1-800 Quit Now number. So, which is, they can help you develop that plan. And there's other resources also on the website that can help you with developing your own personalized plan. Because again, what works for one may not work for another. Smartphone apps might really work really great for somebody, and daily text support might work really well for the next person. So you just got to kind of find what works best for you. We're all uniquely different, and that's a great thing. So That is all I had to present today on smoking while pregnant and the health implications that can have on mom and baby. So I just wanted to jump on here, present that to you. And hopefully, if you are, if you're smoking and you want to quit, hopefully some of these resources that I've laid out here at the end of this presentation will be very helpful for you. I thank you for jumping on here today and listening to me talk. I appreciate it, and stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.